guys, it is Courtney here, and this video is a little bit different because I'm kind of addressing some comments that I have received in like the semi-recent times. I do really appreciate the comments that have been made on my videos of me like doing work in progress on my dolls, like with Mookie and with Ashton Drake, unassembly and all that. I really enjoy doing those type of videos, almost more so than my like regular videos of like hauls and interaction with the dolls, because, well, it may just be because it's something different. I think I'm kind of doing the same thing for a long time. I'm sure like everybody else prefers something new as well. I know I do. And anyway, the comments, nothing bad, but, or nothing like super bad. I'm just going to address like one issue in the comments that I've noticed, and then kind of answer a question of a couple of other ones that I've got. So like some of the, like, I don't mind. I mean, I know that doing the stuff that I do get some of the comments being like, what is this? This is weird. This is creeping me out. Why is this adult woman pretending dolls are real? I mean, I get those and I expect those, and those don't ever bother me, ever. I have a disclaimer in the description of all my videos saying that this is just for fun, entertainment, role play. I honestly don't interact with my dolls that much at all outside of my videos. I might change them if it's like, I don't know, it's almost like changing a decoration in your room. You get tired of them wearing the same outfit, so you might want to see them in something different. I have occasionally picked up my dolls because there's something about the weight that's very comforting. I've done that before, sure. But that almost kind of leads into some of the other comments that do bother me. My disclaimer that I'm going to put here is, I know that other channels do refer to their dolls as babies and as their babies. I do know that there are people who treat their dolls or think of their dolls as their children. I am not here to judge that whatsoever. You know, you do you, and you do it well, and go for it, you know. It's fine. But my channel specifically, and just me in general, I do not think of my dolls as babies. Not even really the mindset of them, like most of the time I don't refer to them as babies, I refer to them as dolls. Maybe that's because I make them as well, so I've seen the process, you know, start to finish. And sometimes I'll refer to them as babies. I will. But like in my mindset, they're just always dolls. But again, I am perfectly cool if your channel, or you have these dolls and they're your babies, fine. I think I saw a comment on Facebook recently about someone said that they would do they ever get mad when people call their babies dolls? And one, you shouldn't be mad, but if people are doing it on purpose, like they know that they're like children to you and they're just purposely going, huh, you're dolls, that's not okay. But if people just in the general mindset, knowing that they are dolls, just say, oh, I like your doll, there's no need to be offended by that, I guess. You shouldn't be, because I don't think they really mean anything by it. They just don't understand, and that's okay. But what bothers, the comments that I've gotten that have bothered me concerning this whole thing, it doesn't bother me one way or another. If you come up to me and say, oh, your baby is so beautiful, knowing this at all, I will say thank you. I really appreciate it. Or the people that really do think that it's a baby and not a doll, I find that a compliment too, because that's the strive of this art, is realism. So people that mix up my dolls for real babies, that is the biggest compliment. People that are freaked out by them, that's a big compliment, because you're telling me that they look real, and that's the end goal of this art. So, but what does, we're going to the comments now. I feel like you need to know this about me and my channel, because when I make decisions on things like changing my dolls, not changing their clothes, but like changing something up about them, or selling them, or trading them. I don't need, the comments that bother me are the ones that will say like, I'm going to give you a prime example. I wound up taking the video down of me derooting Rosanna. I got her rerooted because her hair was a frizzy, clumpy mess. And it was the fault of the mohair. I was not blaming the artist. Even she contacted me before ever shipping her out and said that she gets frustrated with like buying mohair because you can be getting it from the same supplier, the same type of hair, same color, etc. You get one that's this perfect silky batch with no issues, but then you can get of the same kind and it's frizzy, or you know, it's just hit and miss, like everything. And so she told me, she said she wasn't that pleased with the batch of hair that she had gotten and used for Rosanna, and I was okay with that. It never deterred me from liking Rosanna and all that, but it just got to the point where I always kept her in hats, because no matter how I combed and styled the hair, if I laid her down, if I moved her, it would cause her hair to get frizzy, stick out, tangle, all that stuff. And so that's why I wound up taking her hair out and getting new hair rooted in her. And guess what? I enjoy her so much more now. Nope. No. There's nothing in there that you need. Nothing. Not one thing. Here. Go get it. But the funny enough, the majority of the comments on there, Leia, really? Stop it. The majority of the comments are on there, and the reason why I want it taken down is everyone kind of said the same thing, which was on the lines of basically, how dare you not like something about this doll that was made for you. It's a good thing that she's not a real child, because you couldn't change something about her. You couldn't send her back. Like, I hope you never become a mom, because apparently you're very picky about how your children should be. Like, those were the majority of the comments that I got. And I have gotten similar comments on some of the other videos where I've done something to change something about a doll, or I traded out a doll, or whatever. Like, I think like the one that stood out, like, with Rosanna was, somebody commented, me like complaining about her hair, and she goes, well, it's obvious that she is a biracial baby, and that's just how their hair is. It's a good thing you're not a real mom, because you couldn't do that with your child's hair. I would feel sorry for your children. That's very mean. Like, that one really did bother me, because no, I have worked with children all my life. I adore children. I adore babies. I adore them how they are made. God made each of them unique and special, and they're fantastic, phenomenal. I've worked with a wide range of kids and infants, newborn. I mean, I loved, like, to me, just the concept of somebody thinking that I would do that or be that picky about a real child, like, I guess. And I know that shouldn't bother me, but like, it just got very personal in the comment. So that being said, I do not think of my dolls as babies. And when I put a lot of money in something that's not a real baby, it's a doll, it's a piece of art, I want to be able to fully feel its worth. And so I, in that case, really did feel like I needed to get her hair done so that she could be as perfect as she could be for what I paid for her, if that makes sense. And I did pay for her to get rerooted. I didn't make the artist pay. That was all me. So, And so for any little thing, like anytime I trade a doll or I sell a doll, I am not thinking that this is a real child that I feel like I need to sell because I don't love it anymore. It might be true that I've grown tired of the doll that I have, but I would never, ever, ever think it'd be okay to sell a child or a baby or anything in that capacity. I would never change the hair of a real child or baby. Like, I don't know, but that video was full of those comments. It just shocked me so much. I never expected that. And I've gotten like some of those type of comments off and on some of my other videos. So wanted to address that here. Just, you know, let it be known that my babies are dolls and I think of them as dolls. If you don't like that about my channel, if you don't like that I'm not, you know, fully in the mindset that they're real babies, then this is probably not the channel for you, because I do always tend to refer to them as dolls, not babies. I love them though. I do. I collect them. I make them. They're a very strong passion of mine. I have regular dolls up here. And then my realistic dolls, and look, I got a whole like co-sleeper. I've got lounge things. I spent so much money on them. I love them, and have a pile. I'm working over the garage. I got a kit here. I mean, I love it. I love the passion. I love being able to, I've found something that I really enjoy. But yeah, there's my disclaimer. So, you know, I just wanted to address that. I might wind up reposting her derooting video. And I maybe even like not put up her video of me opening her with hair. Like, I think that whole experience just kind of made me very sad. And so but thankfully it didn't ruin my love for Rosanna. I do love her. Here, you want to see her? Oh, she's so much better with her hair. Now look at this. Look at this girl. Look at this. Her hair's so much nicer now. Yeah. See? I love my babies. I do. I do. There, see? I kiss my babies. Just for you. My baby dolls. Okay, so next thing that I wanted to address, this is already a long video, I'm sorry, it's just me doing a stream of consciousness thing, is some people question my, not often, like this is just a comment here and there, and I like to talk about this stuff, because it gets a little bit more into the personal side of me, whatever. People are asking about my arm movements that they've seen me do in the videos, which is this. I tend, like when I'm changing, like I'm actually trying to, there we go. I have sensory processing disorder, and back when I was a child, that was not a known thing. It's very known now. A lot of kids actually do have it. And funny enough, when you look up like cures and treatments and all that for adult, it's like there is none. It's all for kids now. So I've just kind of learned to live with it as best as I can. But I have tics. I have really bad tics. I have texture issues, and it's things like certain clothing will feel perfectly fine at one point in the day, but if I wear the same thing later on, basically my skin will take on a completely different sensation, and I will hate it, which makes it hard. So sometimes I'll pick out my clothes the night before, get up the next morning to put it on, and I'll like immediately throw it off of me. I can't, because I just can't stand the feeling. So I've stopped picking up my clothes at night. Just everything changes. Especially in the morning, my skin is a lot more hypersensitive for some reason. But I have different tics that I used to, for a while I was thinking they may have occurred after brain surgery. They may have gotten a little bit worse since brain surgery. But I think most of my tics, my mom recalls me having them even as a child. They were not like severe. They're a lot more subtle, but they have gotten, I think, more obvious. There are certain tics that I do here and there. So far I haven't had any mouth tics in terms of like needing to repeat words or anything like that. Sometimes, this is a common one though. That's a very common one that I do. But mine is more like moving the muscle here in the neck. From there leads to another tic that I have, which is particularly doing it this way though. Oh, I set a chain. And the thing is, like, once I start it, I have to finish the cycle, or else, well, I can't help it. I just have to finish it. This is a very common one too. This is the one that you've seen probably the most in videos. I don't know what, I can't think of, being overstimulated tends to trigger it. Like, I was talking to a coworker today, and we were talking about something that, like, it wasn't a serious topic, but it was just something that kind of got our voices raised a little bit, but like in passion, not in, you know, anger or anything. And I started doing this, like, with my arm, like, get it out. It's just something about being overstimulated does it. This is a common one too. I tend to get calluses all right here because I just do this. And again, there's a cycle that goes through. Like, I have to finish, moving my thumb. I'm in a very calm state right now, so I'm okay demonstrating my tics because then they don't set off. Another extremely common one, but only I have noticed it, and I've noticed it in the weirdest moments, is sucking on my tongue to a very severe point. And there's only, obviously I can't really demonstrate it, but it'll be like one side or the other, and it's a very specific way that I do it. And unfortunately, I'll show you. Do you see, like, the deformities on my tongue? Like, these, it makes, like, it's like a little, like, looks like somebody chewed the side of my tongue. Yeah. Basically, I do that so much with my tongue that it's like permanently scarred it. I have scar tissue all over my tongue from doing that. This is one. I don't do it as common. I used to do it all the time. My friends used to refer to me as like either a bunny or like bewitched, because I would do that nose move all the time. But it was a tic. Like, it was not a, as some people do it, like, oh, my nose itches, but no, it was just like a tic, and I would do it all the time. The other thing is, like, the movement of my eyes was one. It looks really weird, but that was one I used to do, but thankfully don't, oh no. I was like, oh, please don't tell me I set it off. Okay. That was one I used to do a lot, but I don't do anymore, thankfully. I am a tapper too. It's not so much that it will start the tic, but sometimes when I'm tapping, this might be more of an OCD thing. I have to finish the cycle. So if I'm bored tapping, it will lead into a tic tapping. And no matter what I'm doing, I cannot leave to, like, say somebody calls me into another room, I have to finish the cycle. Anyway, I thought that would just, some people ask, like, why I do this all the time. And I do. That's probably my most common one now. The neck ones, I fought the neck one so long because it was actually being very detrimental to my overall health. Because me moving my neck like this, jerking it all the time, was throwing out 3 of the bones in my neck. And my chiropractor was like mortified when I told him what I was doing, because I had kept it secret for so long. And he was like, why are you not getting better? And I was like, I make this movement with my, and he's like, that is your, like, whole problem. So I wound up wearing a neck brace for like months at a time, just when I was at home, and just fought so hard to stop that tic. So thankfully, for the most part, that tic is gone. Oh gosh, it was so hard. But yeah, thankfully that is mostly gone, and now I'm just stuck with this one, which I don't know that that's any better. It's both sides. Kind of like I'm doing a dance move, but no, it's definitely not. Anyway, so who knows, you will probably see a different tic in the future. I don't like my tics, but I've just kind of learned to live with them. I know that they make me look odd sometimes, especially in public places, or people, me ticking again, or people who just don't know me being like, what is that girl doing? I know people have so much worse tics than I do, so I really shouldn't complain, and I don't typically. The only time that it really bothers me is when it is detrimental to my health, like the neck thing. I'm so grateful that I came out the other end of that. Anyway, so that's why I make ticks. And I think that was the only question I had. Some people had some other questions about like my overall health, but the most visible is the ticks that you sometimes see in videos. Did I even mention these? These are compression gloves that I'm wearing for my joints. I've filmed like 4 videos today, so I just don't remember if I recall saying this already or not, but that's what these are for. Just FYI. Cool fashion statement too, right? Alright, so that was my disclaimer and my, demonstrating, I guess, why I make weird movements. This video is different, isn't it? Oh, me. It's like a stream of consciousness video too. I guess I just needed to talk to someone. Thank you guys for listening. I appreciate it. One of those times. Good stuff. I have just attempted to end this video so many times, and I think I'm sleepy or something because I'm just brain dead and I'm acting ridiculous right now. So I'm just going to end it here like a normal ending and say thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you in another video very soon. Bye-bye.